This is Kate Baconsale. You're listening to Baconsale.
Oh, yeah? That movie starring that one prominent actor. Oh, the one with the big director? Yeah, I've totally seen that. Who hasn't seen that? Come on. I just, I don't really remember that part. You see, I've seen it, I promise. It's just, I was watching it with my girlfriend from Canada, and anyway, yeah, I've seen it.
Okay.
That sounded very convincing to me.
It got real personal all of a sudden.
Girlfriend from Canada is a common phrase.
Yeah, but I had a girlfriend from Canada.
It's a common phrase.
And I've lied about seeing movies before.
Welcome to Baconsale. I'm Joel.
I'm Kent.
And I'm Zack.
We'd like to thank you for listening to our last show. We did both a breakfast food tiering show and we did a breakfast drink show, Bacon Bit.
Just because.
Yeah.
People seem to enjoy it. People seem to get hungry.
I know I did. Honestly, I had to immediately go to breakfast. And so, honestly, there's a lot of comments saying the exact same thing. There was a bunch of good comments that we got, but I'd like to call out Shane Hyatt, who said, Joel Hilton, can I come to your breakfast party? I like your thoughts on breakfast.
Yeah.
Everything is good.
If you go to Joel's breakfast party, you become food. He eats everything at the breakfast party. You remember when you invited food to your breakfast party?
It's people
in
and
your
food.
tummy. Party in your tummy. I remember. Don't lie to people. Soylent Green.
Hashtag Joel's a cannibal.
Yes. You said it.
Why? Why do I say these things?
Unfortunately, though, it was torture for some people. Jonathan Vascar says, I'm on Whole30, so this was torture for me.
Oh,
yeah.
That's too bad. Also, can we see how waffles and pancakes did in our poll? Right?
No,
Wasn't it about
I was going to say waffles actually did quite well on both Twitter and
surprising
Facebook.
to me, actually.
Yeah.
Both of them.
And they kind of cleaned up.
Yeah, I was going to say, but I was happy to see there's pancake lovers out there as well.
Yeah.
Although it was funny because I wasn't actually going to do a pancakes versus waffles thing, and then Kent's like, do it. Do it.
Dude, I want to see waffles win.
Yeah.
Can I confess something to you?
Please.
Yes.
I voted for waffles on Facebook and pancakes on Twitter just because I felt bad for pancakes.
You're breaking the system.
I felt bad for pancakes.
Someone else's love for something doesn't diminish my love for
Yeah,
something.
exactly.
Yeah. No bias at all in this next comment. Natalie Allred Nuttall said, put this episode on while I was making dinner and was immediately mad I wasn't making breakfast foods. I didn't know Zack was so wise. But bagels are tier 1 breakfast foods for sure. Also, don't joke about a Parks and Rec show unless you're willing to deliver, Joel.
Wow.
I would totally be doing a Parks and Rec show. I just
I'd have
finished
to watch
again.
it.
You haven't seen it?
We'll get there.
That dovetails so nicely, but we can't go yet.
We have to. I have to call out an Instagram comment from @Spraguito, who says the Plaza Inn at Disneyland has the best biscuits and gravy, and I've never had it. So Plaza Inn is a famous
So
place
Joel
at
would
breakfast.
like it. We should try it, so we'll enjoy it.
I will make
Absolutely.
you guys biscuits and gravy, homemade biscuits and gravy.
Well, we're having our breakfast party. That
my
we are
tummy.
not. No. Please, no.
So yummy.
No. You see the way he looked at us?
Yeah, it was. He's going to go after it.
Yeah.
And then I have to give a shout out to a couple things on Twitter, including Crew Dutler made a whole big poem.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
About
Yeah.
his picks, which go check that out on Twitter.
Yeah, it's very,
Crew Dutler.
very long, very intricate.
Yeah, we couldn't get into
tiering.
it, but
Yeah.
very cool.
Yeah.
And then I also like to comment from @TCallahan99 who said, can't go wrong with breakfast. My family puts lemon juice and powdered sugar on German pancakes. Sounds weird, but it's great if you get the ratios right.
I'd try it.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So honestly, a lot of fun comments too. Make sure that you're following us on social media so you can play along. It was a good time this week.
And guess what, guys? We got a new patron this week.
Yay!
Tier 1, actually.
Whoa.
Tier 1 patron.
Jennifer Downs.
Hey.
So as a tier 1 patron, she gets access to things like extended episodes,
Yes.
some behind the scenes stuff.
Desktop and iPhone or Galaxy wallpaper. You like how I just say Galaxy or iPhone like they're the only
on.
phones out there?
They really are.
But Jennifer, welcome. Do we know Jennifer at all?
It's my aunt.
Your southern aunt?
I got a hat on. I got a hat.
Oh, no, but thank you, Jennifer. We appreciate that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Welcome,
Exactly,
Jennifer.
too.
Love it, Jen.
Speaking of patrons, Brian Madsen became a member.
You have a song?
You have a song, Joel?
Yes. Brian
Yes.
Madsen, yes, yes.
Hey.
He became a member of the Bacon Council. One of the perks of a Bacon Council member is the fact that I will do a silly song in your honor. And so, Brian Madsen, I did some mild Facebook stalking, as I am wont to do, and this is your patron song. Brian Madsen's a fantastic guy. Him and Haley Kova are a pair so fine. He studied at Snow College, now it's UVU. So Divine is the place he owns. A pop shop you should choose. And now he's on the Bacon Council, yeah. Listen to our ramblings on a Facebook chat. I got a feeling we'll be seeing him real soon at our planning lunches we have in January and in June. Now we'll know Brian Madsen better than we ever did. Maybe we'll go shoot some rifles. Maybe let him watch my kids. Brian Madsen, after all this time, we'll finally get to know this guy and understand his mind. Brian Madsen, he's the man. Brian Madsen, he's the man.
That was great.
One take, Joel.
The dancing that was just going on.
There's a lot of dancing.
I was actually saying a silent prayer as I was dancing that it just went well for Joel. I enjoyed that so much.
It's a fun song. If you haven't heard I'm Still Standing by Elton John.
It's an amazing song.
Well, first of all, I don't know if I could do another Elton John song because he crams so many words into very small sections.
Did you just get a babysitter in that song?
Well, I figure, what the heck? I need babysitters. I might as well start asking for them on Patreon songs. Yes. But there you go,
That's
Brian.
awesome.
Thank you for being on the Bacon Council. We had a whole discussion today on our Bacon Council chat. What was that about? It was
about me asking permission to get kisses.
That's right. It was a whole discussion of someone bashing on Kent.
We decided going on hikes and
Kent
eating
and I are
simple
going on a hike.
breakfast.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so thank you, Brian, for being a patron of Baconsale and for being a member of the Bacon Council. Like I said, we meet in January and June. We will hopefully be out of this pandemic by January, so we can have a normal meeting. But we did like an outdoor meeting in June. That was kind of nice.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was a good time. So there you go. That's what I did, but that's not what we're talking about today. What are we talking about today, Zach?
There are a lot of movies that we've seen, but there just might be a few that we haven't. We're talking what I'm calling the list of shame today. These movies that you wish you had seen, but you just haven't gotten around to it yet.
I loved your intro because it is so true.
Very true.
Because some people will say quotes and you're like, yeah, I don't know.
I think
name that movie. Sure.
You culturally know about it, but you haven't actually sat down and watched it.
And that's the problem I've found. And maybe Kent, maybe Zach, you guys are in the same boat. The pop culture realm, when stuff enters the circle of the pop culture realm, you start to know things, enough things about a movie that you could have an intelligent conversation about a movie or a TV show, having never seen it.
Yes.
And then you're like, well, why even spend the time watching it then if I already can speak to it intelligently?
It's like, Rosebud, of course, Citizen Kane, we've all seen. I haven't not seen that. What?
But that's also the thing is, having gone through film school down at BYU, I saw a lot of these classic movies and then just kind of went, yeah, whatever, I've seen it now. I can check it off my list, but I'm not going to sit around and talk about it.
Right.
Because
it's not very relevant.
But I think there are some movies that you see and you go, you know what, this has been hyped up, this has been talked about, and you know what, I get it. Like the first time I saw Pulp Fiction, I was like, you know what, I didn't want to like it, but wow, that was a great movie and I liked it a lot. I
know. I remember when I first saw Casablanca, I was like folding my arms, being like, I'm not going to like this. This is I saw it, I don't know, 15 years ago or something. But I was like, I'm not going to like it. Everyone likes it. And then it started up and I'm like, Portugal? What? There's something about Portugal. I like Portugal. And then I started being like, oh, well, that's kind of interesting. Oh, well, that's interesting. And then I was like, dang it, I like this movie.
Yeah.
So I gave it a shot and I liked it. But also, this is a little difficult for me. Oh, we've kind of introduced the topic.
Yeah, well, we're calling it the shame list. It's movies that we haven't seen, but we wish we had.
And I've been trying for a while now to cross these big items off my list. It's just like, you know what? Well, this is a very popular movie. I haven't seen it. I've been trying to cross those off.
We've done a few of these on the show, not this type of show, but watch these movies in challenges. For example, we did a Hitchcock show where we watched every one of his movies. Our big milestone was watch every Best Picture winner for the Oscars. And for me, that helped accomplish a lot in film history because my film history, as Joel knows, like anything from 1980 on till now, I've seen.
1975. I'll give you 1975.
Really? You'll give me 1975?
Well, Godfather's like 73, so I'm thinking everything past Godfather you've seen. So,
but previous to then, I had little experience and little care to even watch these movies.
Okay.
And even now, I'm still in that camp.
Well, and we want to clarify, too, that this is not like... I remember in the Best Picture show, when we watched all the Best Picture winners, Kent, that you were like, I wanted to be the last person in the world to have not seen Titanic.
True.
Which wouldn't have worked because my brother wants to be that same person.
Oh, he's still going?
He may be.
Okay.
I should ask him. But this isn't one where we're like, I haven't seen it, and I'm proud I haven't seen it. Like, I haven't seen the Emoji Movie, and I'm never going to see it. Like, that kind of thing.
No.
Like, that's not what it is.
Like, I literally have a film critic card in my wallet.
He does. He shows it to us at the beginning of every episode and says,
guys, I'm the film critic.
Respect this.
You're the comedian. I am the film critic. He is the moderator.
You're just here.
Zach likes musical theater, okay?
Yeah.
You know your place.
But there are a lot of movies where I'm like, I shouldn't really have this card. I don't deserve this card because I haven't seen these iconic movies.
So we're going to be admitting some things, is what we're saying, and we want this to be a safe place.
So no judgment from each other or the listener.
That's not happening.
It's not happening. No, no. That's the thing is like I feel like I'm going to expose I'm throwing myself out there and being like, okay, I haven't seen this, even though not that I will never be like, oh yeah, I've totally seen that when I haven't. Like I won't flat out lie about it.
Yeah.
But a lot of times they'll be like, have you seen this movie? Like, have you seen Transformers: Dark of the Moon? And I'm like, is that the one with this? And then they start talking about it.
Either you've read the summary or you know that what the movie pretty much is anyways, right?
Yeah.
So did you guys have a ton of honorable mentions here?
Oh,
I don't think we should mention them here on the show.
Oh, really?
But I have about 30 honorable mentions
Really?
of things
That
I'm
many?
really embarrassed about.
I have some, and I bet you when we maybe put this out on social media, people will mention some that I would also go on my list.
Okay, so are we also going TV shows as well as movies?
Yes.
I think so.
I have a mix of both.
If it's on your shame list.
I have no TV shows at present.
I have 2 TV shows on my actual list. I have some on the honorable mention as well.
Okay.
I didn't really delve into it. I only have movies, but there's a lot of TV shows because I don't really watch TV. So
There
I
are
would
a
have
lot of
long
shows
list.
where I've seen episodes spliced in throughout my life, but I've never seen the full series, which I need to. But I could bring that up at another time.
Yeah. Okay. So let's jump into it. We have each of us brought 5 list of shame nominations to the table.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about them.
Let's start with you, Kent. What have
All
you
right,
got?
Yeah, film critic. Put the card away and start talking
Put your
to
card
us.
on the table.
There's a metaphorical card on the table, guys, and I don't deserve it because I haven't seen this movie, and I'm going to give you a clue from the Parents Guide.
Oh, play the Parents Guide game
Parents
again?
Guide game. You get one clue.
Oh, okay. All right.
The film opens with a scene of a dead body in the pool. No blood is seen, although the narrator describes the scene.
Sunset Boulevard.
Sunset Boulevard.
Whoa.
From
You haven't seen
1950.
Sunset Boulevard?
Never.
I think you'd like this one.
I think I would
dark.
too. And it's a mystery, right?
Yeah, 1950.
1950.
Yeah.
This movie is 1 hour and 50 minutes, and the synopsis is a screenwriter develops a dangerous relationship with a faded film star determined to make a triumphant return. Directed by Billy Wilder, starring William Holden and Gloria Swanson.
Now, if you've never seen have you seen any of Billy Wilder's movies?
Yes, quite a few. So he's done Some Like It Hot, which I love. Double Indemnity, which I love.
Yep.
The Last Weekend, which I really liked.
What?
Yeah,
The Best Picture winner last weekend, you liked that one?
I did.
That one was dumb.
Isn't that the one where the guy drinks himself?
Yeah, it's
I
like this
that
whole
one.
after-school message.
Yeah, I like that one. Stalag 17, which I haven't seen,
Oh, yeah.
and Witness for the Prosecution, which I liked.
I love Witness for the Prosecution. But Billy Wilder has such fantastic... he's a fantastic director, especially with dialogue. Like he's
Yes.
very quick-paced, fun dialogue, and witty banter.
I've always looked at this movie as a Citizen Kane-esque movie where I'm like, it's probably really good for the time because what it's meant to represent is the transition from silent films to talkies.
Mm-hmm.
And this star who maybe wasn't able to make that transition,
A lot of stars weren't.
things go poorly.
Yeah. So the question is, I think, why haven't you seen it?
I don't know. But
Like,
it's because,
you're not avoiding it.
Actually, it feels like I've seen this movie because I've seen the scene where she comes down the stairs
Right.
and she does the stare. And I go, I've pretty much seen it,
Yeah.
even though I
one,
haven't.
From one scene.
From one
moment.
scene.
Norma Desmond.
And this one has the number 7 on AFI's best movie quotes of all time. And the quote is different than normally spoken.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.
Yeah.
Because
Really?
people
It's
think
also-
it's... I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. DeMille.
That's
Yes.
also the one. Isn't it the same one as Buckle Up, Boys? You're in for a
All
rough-
About Eve.
That's All About Eve. You're right.
Yeah, which we watched.
Yes.
And won the best picture as well.
Yeah.
So it's one that I've always meant to, but never given the chance to. And I will probably be watching after the
Now,
show.
This is a classic film geek must. Meaning that if you're into the older films, this is one that you have to have in your back
But
pocket.
I've never been into the older films.
But I will, and that's what I said. Like there's modern film geeks and there's classic film geeks.
Yes.
And I feel like this is definitely a classic film because a lot of older, like nowadays, film geeks are just like, yeah, well, older stuff, whatever.
Right.
It's when they got color, that's when film became real. But this is one, if I may say, Kent, worth watching. Definitely worth watching. But a lot of those other Billy Wilder ones you talked about, I like more. Like,
Okay, I think I will
like,
too.
I like Double Indemnity much more than this one. Double Indemnity is fantastic. Witness for Prosecution, I really enjoy that one. This one was good, but I think it was hyped up too much for me.
Okay.
So I want to bring your expectations down
Okay.
a bit so you can enjoy it more.
I do enjoy it. I was reading that Gloria Swanson actually was a star in the silent film era and had difficulty making the transition. She was Paramount's leading actress for 6 years running. And so actually, like, It's not her life story because clearly things take a dark turn. But it is a lot of her character trying to break big in a time where she doesn't belong.
Break big, not break bad, right?
Yeah, break big. Yeah. And, the character breaks bad. Oh. This was nominated for 11 Oscars and only won for writing, art direction, and score. So it didn't win Best Picture.
No, but it's good.
Okay, but that's my first one, Sunset Boulevard.
I also haven't seen this movie. So
would you want to, based on what Joel said here?
Not entirely.
Do you like older movies?
I do, yeah. And it's on the list of the all-time greats. You got to see them. But
and the thing is, I tell people all the time, if you like musical theater, you'll like Sunset Boulevard.
Same director did Some Like It Hot.
I'd rather just watch
that again.
But you've seen that.
It's a great movie.
Yeah, but you've seen it.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with musical theater. I was trying to bait Zack in.
Oh, okay.
Stop. Musical theater? What about you, Joel? What's next?
This one, I've seen the original. I have not seen the remake. And the remake is definitely more popular than the original. Because the original was made in 1932. The remake was made in 1983.
Can I guess?
Sure.
The Thing.
No.
What is it?
I've never seen Scarface.
Whoa.
So,
but the poster, Joel. The poster.
Me neither.
What?
I haven't seen it either.
Double confession.
And I love Pacino's 70s era, and I haven't seen it.
Yeah, this is 83.
Okay.
So this is past Pacino's prime. But
can I just... I've seen this one, but on TBS.
Yeah, it doesn't count.
That's what I need.
Doesn't count.
That's what I need, because this one, I mean, I just been looking for a good edit, honestly, on this one. I don't know why. Like, I've seen the 1932 Scarface. It was good. I liked it.
Not the same story, though, right? Similar type character?
Basically, it's the same basic story. Obviously, there's much less F words. 207 F words, by the way, in the 83 Scarface. For those who don't know, synopsis. In 1980 Miami, a determined Cuban immigrant takes over a drug cartel and succumbs to greed. If you've ever heard the phrase, say hello to my little friend, that's from this movie.
You know this movie has Michelle Pfeiffer in it, right?
I do. And
why wouldn't you watch it then?
It's also directed by Brian De Palma, who did Phantom of the Paradise, which I enjoyed, The Untouchables, Mission Impossible, and Bruce Springsteen, The Complete Video Anthology, 1978 to 2000.
There you go.
Apparently he did a lot of Bruce Springsteen videos.
Wow.
Brian De Palma did. Starring Al Pacino, Michelle Pfeiffer, Robert Loggia. I never say his name right. This one is one of those movies that everyone seems to quote and know and enjoy. And then I just keep seeing, like... I always see the seedier side of this movie, like the elements of just like him with this
That's what I'm wondering.
Pile of cocaine on the table, and I'm like,
Does it feel like you've seen The Godfather, and this is like the trailer trash version of The Godfather? Is that a reason why you haven't seen it?
It's more like I've seen the story, and then I'm like, okay. And I should clarify, like I said, I'm not avoiding this movie. Like, I don't want to see it, but it's just kind of I've never seen it, and I'm looking for a good edit. So
okay,
so I can actually avoid those 207 F words. And, sure, he's not really snorting cocaine, so I have no problem with that. Sorry,
right.
Family friendly on myself on that. But this is one that I'm like, I should see that at some point.
It is, even though he's extremely campy in this movie, from what I've seen, it is one of the great gangster performances in a movie.
So you've heard.
So I've heard.
Yeah, don't speak as if you've known it, because you've already admitted that you haven't seen it either.
Based on lists on the internet, I could say
but
that.
That's how we speak a lot of times. It's like, I know these facts about this movie, and I can speak to it intelligently, but I don't,
based on what I know, you probably know plenty and don't really need to, but
it's one of those. It's one of those film card things that I'm like, Scarface. I should probably.
Considering
watch
I've seen like every Scorsese movie that has to do with gangsters, I should
next time it's on
TBS,
TBS, let me know. Okay.
Have you guys seen the YouTube video of kids doing this?
No,
I don't think.
And I think they put like fudge or something instead of. It's so funny.
It's pretty great.
It's so funny. All right. Well, for my first one, I actually cheated because mine is actually an entire series that I haven't seen.
A TV series?
No, this is a movie series.
Oh.
It's a series of 5 movies, arguably 3 movies. You know how big of a fan I am of James Bond. I have never seen any of the Jason Bourne movies.
What?
From 2000, starting in 2002.
That's a legitimate shock.
Let's stop the show real quick.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay, now my brothers love these movies.
Yeah.
When we did our Bond versus Bourne versus Hunt show, I kind of I downplayed Bond, and they let me. I downplayed Jason Bourne because I said he was kind of this knockoff Bond, and they let me have it.
My question isn't why not. It's how did you get away with not seeing it?
I don't know. I accidentally avoided it for all of these years, and it just reached a point where I was like,
because it's one of those movies where you go to a friend's house, they're like, hey, I got a PG-13 action movie, a Bourne movie.
Well, especially if you were around in the early 2000s, it's like everyone was watching. You walk into a room, you're like, which Which Bourne is this? They're like, it's the one where they're kind of getting after him.
You just
and they're
hear
trying
the
to find
theme
him.
going, right?
Yeah.
Whee!
My dad would watch them, and by then
It's a dad movie for
yeah,
sure.
I was in the house and I would walk past and they're on, but I
Is it because you got a headache every time you try to watch the action?
Well, no. Once again, you're not actively avoiding. This movie.
I want to see them.
Are you going to watch them ever, or are you going to?
I
avoid
actually,
them now?
I'm taking some time off work here coming up, and my plan is to sit down and watch at least the first 3.
That's all you need.
Yeah, that's what I've
honestly.
heard.
That's all you really need.
I'm a
First
Legacy fan.
No, you're
I'm
not.
not.
No, you're not.
Tron Legacy, maybe.
Yeah,
I have.
No,
I
I'm
have-
not.
We should do like down the road, like a year later,
A
or something
strange
like that.
sequel show.
No, we should do a follow up to this episode where we've all watched the movies that we say.
I'd be
in this,
down.
We all have to watch all of them from
Yeah,
everybody's
movies or
list we
TV
haven't
shows,
seen.
and then we're like, now we're reporting on our shame list.
Yeah.
I'm into that.
But yes, I have not seen the Bourne Identity or its
Crazy.
sequels.
Crazy.
That is really crazy.
Yeah. What do you got? What do you got, Kent?
My second choice from the Parents Guide.
Oh man, I should have done that.
There's a scene where the monster picks up a little girl and drops her into the lake, causing her to drown.
Are you kidding me? You have not seen 1931 Frankenstein? 1933 Frankenstein?
1931.
31.
I've never seen Frankenstein.
You've never seen
The
Frankenstein?
original Universal Frankenstein monster movie.
Never. Joel, you and I have talked about this often, where I have not seen a lot of the classic
own it
Universal
if you wanna
monsters.
borrow it.
You've offered that before, and I'm always like, yeah, during Halloween. And guess what happens during Halloween?
I watched The Host.
I watch The Host, right? I have seen Dracula.
Okay, yeah.
The end.
Whoa.
Oh, I've seen The Wolfman. I've seen The
Okay,
Wolfman.
I was going to say if you see Wolfman.
I've never seen The Mummy. I've never seen Creature from Black Lagoon. I've
Invisible
never seen
Man.
Invisible Man.
I told you to watch that one last.
I've seen Hollow Man. Okay, Joel, don't be mad. So Frankenstein is only 70 minutes long.
It's short.
The story is an obsessed scientist assembles a living being from parts of exhumed corpses, directed by James Whale, who also did The Invisible Man and Bride of Frankenstein, starring
Bride of
Boris
Frankenstein's
Karloff,
horrible.
Meg Clark, and Colin Clive. Okay. It's so weird because here are the Frankenstein movies I've seen instead of Frankenstein.
So the original Frankenstein, this is what you've seen.
Young Frankenstein.
Okay.
The Monster Squad.
What?
Van Helsing. I Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Mary Shelley's Frankenstein.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Victor Frankenstein, the one with James McAvoy
oh my
and
God.
Daniel Radcliffe.
Frankenweenie. And all 3 Hotel Transylvanias. I've seen those instead of seeing a 70-minute Frankenstein movie. Do you know why?
Do you see Abbott Costello make Frankenstein?
Nope.
What?
I feel like I've seen the
No.
movie based on the imagery.
And you have. This is a very straightforward, you're going to watch this movie going, yes, I know this story. It is literally the story of Frankenstein.
But is it? Because I've read the book, and the book is amazing.
it's totally different from the book.
And I feel like it loses the spirit of the book where there is this...
It's a different monster.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Nicely played.
Yeah.
And also, once again, it has one of the best movie quotes on AFI's list, number 49. It's alive! It's alive!
Oh, it's chewing the scenery, but done so well.
This was the top movie at U.S. box office for 1931. And I haven't seen it.
You
and
totally
it feels like this cornerstone
Kent,
of horror movies that I should have seen.
I have a plan for you.
Go on.
Are you ready for this?
Yes.
To get you to actually watch these movies, watch them with your girls.
Are
Because
they appropriate?
completely. This is phase 1 horror movie training for my
Okay.
kids. Like, this is like introducing them to these characters, and they're just creepy enough. They got that black and white kind of creepy feel to them, but not overly scary.
Okay.
And so
each
this is
of the
when-
movies, even like Invisible Man, which I know deals
Yeah.
with more psychological stuff.
Oh, totally. Like, these movies are all the Universal Classic Horror monster movies are fun to watch with kids because they're just creepy enough. And it's like one of those great introductions to horror.
Okay. I'm so sorry to everyone. My life is a lie. Joel, please save the show.
Bail him out.
Okay. I've actually talked about this one on the show before in passing, but I figured it's time I gave it a formal address.
Is this a movie?
This is a TV show.
Okay.
I have not seen a single episode of Star Trek The Next Generation.
I
in its
had a feeling
entirety.
this was coming. Not a single episode?
Not a single episode
What?
in its entirety.
Not even like a Whoopi Goldberg episode or
Nope.
something with Wesley?
Nope.
You've never seen Riker. Well, you've seen the memes of Riker
Yes.
getting into his chair.
Here's the thing. I know that Captain Picard says make it so. I know that he says shut up, Wesley.
Yeah.
I know that Geordie LaForge has the eye thing. I know that Troy's hot. I know that Riker's hot. I know that Q is a character. And so...
Have you seen any of the movies?
First Contact.
Yes.
First Contact.
I've basically seen every other Star Trek movie.
Generations, Nemesis.
Basically, it's I jump around. J.J. Abrams is my only Star Trek. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'd
be fine with
But
that,
Star
just
Trek
the
Next
one
Generation,
movie.
by many, is considered to be the greatest Star Trek series.
Yeah.
And so as a kid growing up, I wish I could remember what it was. I'm thinking maybe it was Tales from the Crypt. Maybe not. But I would always try to watch TV. Like it was Fox 13. I'd turn it on, and it was always the ending of Star Trek, and I'd had to wait for that to get over before I could watch whatever show I wanted to see. Maybe it was The Simpsons or something.
Did
like
it
that.
seem too boring?
As a kid, yes.
Yeah.
But I wanted to watch this, and I said, okay, I'm going to start watching this. And I went, no, I'm a completist. I have to start at the original series, which I just barely finished.
So is this a personal challenge?
So I am going to start watching this one. This is one I am going to remedy. This went from 1987 to 1994. 7 seasons, 178 episodes. And I just feel like, this, by the way, this is set 100 years after Captain Kirk's 5-year mission. This is a whole new generation of people, and I'm going to watch it.
And this will turn off some of the listener. You like Doctor Who, right?
I do. Yeah, I did.
To a certain extent. I think you can make some, you could draw some comparisons between the two. I think you'll like Next Generation more than the original series.
And the original series was drudgery for a while, and then it got fun, and then it got kind of lame again.
Well, are we talking Riker pre-mustache or post?
Post-mustache.
Okay.
Yeah,
Have you watched it?
sure.
I've seen enough.
Okay.
I've seen spliced episodes, but that's about it.
I don't know pre-mustache post. Oh, I know Data too. I know Data
because
that's the thing.
When I was 13, it was either I'm going to watch Star Trek.
I'm just going to throw out names of characters that I know.
I'd watch Baywatch, which is on Channel 14, or Star Trek on Channel 13. And when it was commercial for Baywatch, I'd watch Star Trek.
Yeah.
That is a very odd mix of emotions, I'm betting.
Yeah.
The two like visual indicators for me, does Riker have facial hair and is Worf in yellow?
What does that mean, though?
So
does it get good when Riker gets a mustache?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's better after that.
Okay. But a lot of people swear this one, and this is a huge... Star Trek for the longest time has been a huge oversight. I can finally speak about Star Trek Regional Series because I have completed it.
We have so many listeners that are upset that we don't... this is our blind spot on the show.
And I'm working on it. So please forgive me. I will
7
do this
seasons,
one.
Joel. Quite a commitment.
I know. And there's another one on here that's going to be pretty big, too. So
mine starts a train that I think has an obvious connection. The rest of mine, I'll let you know, the rest of mine are R-rated movies, which I didn't watch a lot of growing up, and I've been catching up.
He's a rebel now, people.
Yeah, my later years. So I didn't watch a lot of these growing up, including some of the classics. But this is always one that I initially avoided because, well, I was a child of the 90s, and who was one of the biggest and funniest names of the 90s but Jim Carrey?
Yes.
Jim Carrey was the peak funny man. And then he started making movies in the 2000s that I'm like, what are you doing? That doesn't look funny. And I've heard about this movie for a really long time. It came out in 2004, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Whoa.
I have never seen this movie, Zack. And I've always wanted to.
And not wow, like, Zack. Wow, why haven't you seen that? But wow, that is a good movie.
Zack, yeah, that's a top 10 movie for me.
That's so good.
I want to see it, but I have never have.
I want to clarify to anyone out there, it is bizarre. Like, it's one of those movies that
wonderfully
you have to,
bizarre.
Yes, but you have to kind of like allow yourself to enjoy it because there's some
it's
weird
true,
stuff
but
that
I would
happens.
say it's accessible bizarre.
Yes.
Like it still takes some leaps.
And that's what I want to say. If you give it a chance, it can be. I'm going to say this. It's going to sound very much hyperbole, but if you give it a chance, this can be a life changer.
Yes.
Because this will kind of change the way you think about certain things and relationships and hurt and pain. And it's so well done.
So you're saying I shouldn't watch it now?
It honestly might be a bad time.
but it's so well done.
Do you just not view him as a real actor and more comedic?
I remember when The Majestic came out.
I'm sorry, that's a slam against comedic actors, but in dramatic category.
I just remember when The Majestic came out, I was like, what are you doing? Mm-hmm. And then this kind of weird, bizarre, indie-looking movie came out, and I'm like, no, you're going for something different, and that's not my jam. And so I kind of avoided it. And then now, once I learned more about movie buffs and stuff like that, I'm like, oh no, that's a movie I have to check out, and I just never have.
Oh yeah, put it on your list.
We'll do.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, and if you need an edited version, I got you there too.
I may.
It's really light editing because it doesn't need much taken out.
Yeah, that's not a problem anymore, Joel. Okay, what do you got, Kent?
So no parents got on this one because I have a feeling that neither of you have seen this movie either. It's a movie that's on
Frankenstein's Son.
Yes, Son of Frankenstein,
Son of the Mask.
Yes, never seen that one either. Thankfully,
no, I haven't.
This is a movie that's on so many lists that I'm always like, yeah, it's probably really good. Someday I'll watch it. From 1974, it's Chinatown.
I've seen it.
You've seen it?
I have not.
Oh
seen
yeah.
this.
When did you watch it?
A while back. Well, like I said,
I don't know. I'm so shocked, but I'm like, it doesn't seem like it's like your kind of movie.
I've been trying to, like I said, I've been trying to cross these big movies off my list for some time now.
This is number 21 on AFI's top 100 movie list.
And this is one that it kept popping up on lists, and I was like, okay, I'll finally watch it, and I did. I probably saw it when we first started working together. Like that was, it's been a while since I've seen it. Yeah.
Once again, it has an AFI quote on it for the top 100 movie quotes. It's "Forget it, Jake. It's Chinatown,"
which is like one of the last quotes of the movie.
Yeah. This is 2 hours, 10 minutes. This is the longest movie on my list so far. Not that would scare me away. I'm okay with long movies. I don't know why I haven't really gone into this. So the synopsis is, a private detective hired to expose an adulterer finds himself caught up in a web of deceit, corruption, and murder, starring Jack Nicholson, Faye Dunaway, and John Huston. And this is like iconic Jack Nicholson era. This was nominated for 11 Academy Awards and it only won Best Screenplay.
I just looked it up, by the way. 2009 is when I saw it.
Okay.
I had that
So
one.
did you write a review for it?
I did. And it's just like, it'll probably get better with subsequent views. It's a very well done noir, good ending. But I do feel like it's overrated.
Is it overrated?
I think it's good. But people keep putting it up there as like one of the greatest. And I'm like, really?
And I read why. This is seen as one of the best screenplays ever written.
It's good.
You just kind of, is it a shoulder shrug, though?
It's good. It's good.
Because, and you see this more in movies now because I think screenwriters...
I gave it 3.5 stars.
Okay. I think back in the 70s, screenwriters would kind of meander with their plots and the dialogue. And
much like the music.
Yeah, well, yeah, very much so. And now screenwriters are a little more focused. So it said in every scene, every interaction, every line of dialogue is going to serve multiple purposes to move the plot forward. And every interaction serves as a secondary plot as well. And so everything gets to the end.
Yeah.
And it's intentional. And I really love that. I don't know why I haven't seen it, though.
I think you're going to like it, Ken. I think you're going to like it more than I did.
Guess who loves this movie?
Roger.
Your favorite reviewer.
Christopher Nolan. It's one of his favorite movies.
And you haven't seen it?
I don't understand why. Also, I love L.A. Confidential.
Yes, you're going to like this movie.
Okay. That's all I need.
L.A. Confidential is kind of in the same boat. It's me, whereas I'm like, I like it. It's good. I think it's overrated.
Yeah. And for me, Jack Nicholson, maybe this is why I haven't seen it, because he's got like a 50-50 track record for me, like his choice of movies, but in every bad movie he's in, he's still good.
But that's the thing, is he's not like the smiling Jack Nicholson in this one. Like, it's not him.
Yeah.
Like, he's much more serious, which is kind of weird to see. Like, it's much more Cuckoo's Nest Jack Nicholson.
Oh, perfect.
Than Joker Jack Nicholson.
So Chinatown is my third.
Kent, I've never even heard of this movie.
Really?
Never.
You've never seen the cover? It's got like the cool artsy cover.
Nope.
Have you ever heard the quote, though, forget it, it's Chinatown? Wow.
Nope. Total blind spot.
I'll let you know.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not bad. I liked it.
All right, Joel, what's yours?
I went broad on this one, but I'm going to bring it back. Okay?
I'm listening.
I have not seen a single Bruce Lee movie.
Enter the Dragon?
Enter the Dragon is my nominee here.
Yeah.
Or Big Boss.
For the longest time, Westerns and martial arts movies were kind of a blind spot for me. I've been chipping away at the best Westerns, like
just trying to stay in all the hotels.
At the best Western movies.
I feel like we went for the dad joke on that one.
Yeah, you did.
Multiple.
And then Enter the Dragon is another one where I'm like, I need to watch more martial arts movies just to get the feel for them. And Enter the Dragon is the one I want to watch.
Same question I asked Zach. How did you get away with not seeing these? Because I feel like sleepovers, it was like, my older brother has Enter the Dragon. Do you want to watch that movie?
Well, and that's the thing is, this is an R-rated one, and it didn't just happen at the sleepovers I was hanging out with, or I just walked out.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
New era story.
No, but that's just it. Is like, I don't know. Like, martial arts movies were not, like, we watched, I'm trying to think of like all the movies we watched.
Did you ever see like Drunken Master?
No.
So you watch Kung Pao without having reference to the stuff it was
but
mocking.
that's just it. You know the movies.
True. Very true.
You see all the tropes. You see them happen over and over again. By the way, Enter the Dragon, 1973, synopsis. A martial artist agrees to spy on a reclusive crime lord using his invitation to a tournament there as cover. Starring Bruce Lee, of course. Directed by Robert Klaus, who did a couple Bruce Lee movies, and then Dragon, the Bruce Lee story.
Did you see Dragon?
Nope.
Which is fine. I mean, it's basically a glorified TV movie.
I may have seen Dragon. That's one of those ones that may have got.
It's
may
funny
have
you'd
seen
see
in
the
passing.
story about Bruce Lee, but not.
Yeah, and so, but that's the thing is, Bruce Lee is this film icon who has done a ton of stuff, and I've never seen one of his
Green Hornet.
movies.
Did you ever see that series?
Clips.
Okay.
He's Kato.
Oh, wait, wasn't he in the one with Seth Rogen?
Don't say Seth Rogen. Don't say Seth Rogen.
Although Stephen Chow is pretty fun in that.
He is. He is.
I like that
I like
movie more
Stephen
than I
Chow,
should.
and that's the thing is, having watched Shaolin Soccer, and I love Shaolin Soccer and
Kung Fu Hustle.
Kung Fu Hustle. I love those movies, and Kung Pao even I have a stupid love for. But Kung Pao Enter the Fist, if you haven't seen that, it's so ridiculous.
Zach, can we talk him into watching Enter the Dragon? Like, do you
No, I
feel
want
the
to.
need
Well,
to?
I want
it's
to.
the only one I've seen.
That's the whole point of this list, is that I'm not trying to avoid this. I'm not saying I don't want to see it. I'm like, I want to see this. Why haven't I seen it yet? That's what the shame list is.
But I don't know, though, at this point, if it's something that you would even want to watch, because this is one, really this whole genre of movies is one that feels very steeped in what is now cliche.
Right, but at the same time, I love a good cliche. And I love
Baconsale.
I love time capsule movies where I'm like, I can pop into this movie and be like, wow, this is so not a film we would see today, but back then this was the big film.
It is Hollywood history.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So
definitely watch it.
I do want to watch it. And so I plan to. I just have to find it.
Okay.
All right. I need the why behind this one, because this is a movie that I want to see. Joel
I'm
just
doing
put
the
his arms up and
YMCA.
was doing the why.
Yeah.
This is a movie that I want to see, but only because it is historic and considered so great. This is technically 3 movies, but many would only consider 2. Gentlemen, I have never seen The Godfather.
Wow.
Why not?
I just never have. Once again, we didn't watch like crime movies in my house. Just it wasn't, especially with a lot of language.
You're young.
Yeah.
So I'm going to forgive you.
Yeah.
I didn't watch. Do you like how you need my
I
forgiveness?
like how there's a safe zone. I'm going to forgive you for your horrible judgment.
I haven't seen Frankenstein, but I'm going to forgive you. I didn't watch
You're young,
Godfather
Ken. It's okay.
till
Isn't
I
that
was...
proportionately the same to our age?
Yeah, probably. Hey! Wow, I agreed with you. I didn't see Godfather, and I watched them in succession. When I was 25, I watched the first one. Joel, what age did you watch The Godfather?
College.
Okay, so
Yeah, it was around
slightly
then.
earlier.
I do have kind of a funny story because I watched Godfather 1, Godfather 2, and Godfather 3 in fairly close succession to one another.
I haven't seen Godfather 3.
Well, here's the thing.
I hear you don't
Godfather
have to.
3, Godfather 3 universally panned, and it's because Francis
should I take-
Coppola's daughter is kind of terrible and she's one of the main characters.
But should I take people's word at it, or should I just go watch the movie?
But here's the
Don't
thing.
take my word for it.
When we watched Godfather 3, it was kind of a celebration of completing the trilogy. So we had a big Italian dinner. We're like drinking
Oh, cool.
grape juice and eating garlic bread and pasta as we're watching this movie.
Well, that sounds
I
delicious.
had such a positive experience.
Yeah.
That I kind of like Godfather 3.
I'm into that.
But Godfather 1 and Godfather 2, fantastic films. Very well done character studies.
Yeah.
I do feel like, however, people prop those up all the time as like, this is the epitome of film. And I'm like, it's very well done. Very well done. And I highly enjoy it. And I think people should watch it. But it's not one that I pop in every time and be like, I want to watch this.
2 hours, 55 minutes.
For the first one?
Yes.
Wow.
Joel, it is the epitome of film, though. If you think about character study and the history of America,
Have you seen Sonic the Hedgehog, though?
you know, you're right. With the redesign, I think that eclipses The Godfather 2 even. But I think as far as watching a character go through
Yes.
this arc is amazing.
So who is it, though? Who do we follow? Because I know
Al
there's so many
Pacino.
famous names in here.
Do you know Arrested Development?
Yes.
Arrested Development is
Here we go.
Is the Godfather in comedy form.
Okay.
It really is. You have the father figure who's taken out of the picture, and the son, Michael, has to run the family business with his hot-tempered older brother and the kind of dim-witted younger brother.
So Al Pacino is
And
the
the
one we're
absentee
following.
sister.
What is Robert De Niro in this movie?
Robert De Niro
He comes in the
he's in
second
number
one.
two.
The second one.
He is young.
Marlon
Vito.
Brando.
Young Marlon Brando.
Yeah, young Marlon
Okay.
Brando.
Yeah, so it's like it's a prequel, but also a sequel because it's actually that's why I love Godfather 2 probably more than number 1.
Is it like a
Is
flashback
they're,
movie?
They're
It is.
intersplicing.
Well,
they're
and that's the
intersplicing
other thing,
movies
too.
together.
You always hear there's like the 2 all-time greatest sequels are Empire Strikes Back and The Godfather 2.
You hear that a lot, yeah.
It's accurate.
And Jaws 2. I mean, people say that all the time.
All the time.
Halloween 2.
I'm a Jaws Revenge sort of guy.
Yeah.
As we said
Just
in
wait
our-
till Sonic 2 comes out.
Sonic.
Save it for the Sonic show?
You just have to set
Already
aside
have that.
time, and I do think it's more valuable than watching the Bourne series, but it's going to be easier to not fall asleep to the Bourne series.
Yeah.
True, because it is slow. It's deliberate.
But you're going to understand so many references once you watch the
But
mean,
that's the problem is you hear him say, I'm going to make an offer.
Or the
I can't
horse
refuse."
head.
You're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, the horse head, leave the gun, take the cannoli. Like,
Yes.
all these things.
And you know these things because you've heard them so many times.
So many
But
times.
your respect for Pacino and De Niro will go up like insanely high.
Yeah, and I don't even think I've seen many of their movies. I mean, relatively.
It's time to find out why they're great.
Yeah, but I know I
Overrated.
respect them, but I don't fully know
Who?
why.
Pacino and De Niro. I think everything they've done
This
since...
is a different show altogether.
I know, but I think everything they've done
Joel.
since their peak in the 70s has lessened their
Hold on,
overall.
isn't Pacino in Heat?
Yeah.
Yeah, come on.
Which is meh.
Have you seen?
What?
Save it for our Heat show. No, we're not going to do it.
I would do a Heat
because
show.
No.
Heat's awesome.
It's good. Meh.
But yeah, I that's my. So yes, this is on my list of shame, but I do feel like I kind of needed to be talked into it, and even then, I'm just like, okay, so it's a lot.
You're
of
going to set
time.
aside 6 to 6.5 hours of your life
Yeah.
by not watching 3, but watching the first 2.
I heard that there's a cut.
Okay, here's what you should do. You should watch 1 and 2, and then both of you watch 3 together. That'd be fun.
I would do it.
Do it.
I heard there's a cut that just scrambles it all up and puts it in chronological order, and that sounds like such a horrible idea.
Well, because that's the whole point.
Once again, Arrested Development. Yes.
Yeah. But that's the cool thing about number 2 in particular is the fact that you have these 2 stories coming together and you see the parallels, but they're not like overtly showing them to you. They're allowing you to see the parallels between his father and the father and Michael.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting the father's name, Vito Corleone.
Yes.
That's it.
You've soft talked me into it.
Okay.
The whole point of this is
I'll
the
be okay
shame
with
list. Like,
soft.
I want to see it, Zach.
Okay, I do.
But are we?
I'm gonna watch all these.
Okay,
on my
we'll
list.
have to report on this.
I'm gonna watch
I
all
will.
of them.
I will watch The Godfather and Part 2. We'll see 3.
Okay, I'm going to start with a focus on my next one, and I'm going to take it more broad.
Okay.
Mine is from 1931, so another movie from 1931. This is a decade. I don't really enjoy a lot of the films, especially
love
the best
30s
pictures.
movies.
I didn't really enjoy a lot of the best picture
A lot of
winners,
best
though.
pictures, no, but there's other good movies out there.
But so yeah, Frankenstein shared the same year, and this movie is City Lights.
Oh, you have not seen City Lights?
Joel, we've talked about this.
You haven't seen many silent movies.
I haven't seen many, if at all.
This is a Charlie
silent
Chaplin
movies.
movie. Wait, have you not seen any Charlie Chaplin movies?
No.
That's okay.
I haven't seen
You're
any.
young.
I haven't seen any Buster Keaton either.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. Buster Keaton is definitely my hipster choice of silent movies because like
course.
people talk about Charlie Chaplin and no Charlie Chaplin. Buster Keaton's like the other one.
Yeah.
Was Buster Keaton the guy that really just hated himself and would do the really dangerous things?
No, he was a circus performer who would do a lot of his own stunts and actually broke his neck in one stunt. We'll save it for a silent movie show.
There was a
we are
time-
doing a silent movie show where
It's
I'm
going to
going
be a very quiet show.
just piano music. But no, I do want to give you guys a sampler platter of good both horror, comedy, romance, drama, silent movies.
You're my go-to recommendation guy with this genre because I've avoided it on purpose.
And that's what I want to tell people out there. We'll save it for our silent movie show, but that you can get a theater, like a modern theater experience in a silent movie setting.
Thankfully, I watched...
You've seen Nosferatu, though, right?
Yes.
Okay,
It's
so you've
great.
seen a silent
And
movie.
thankfully, I've seen Hitchcock movies, which the first 9 or 10 movies were silent.
Which aren't great.
There's some okay ones.
But most of them are kind of like...
You're right. So City Lights is an hour and 27 minutes. The story is a tramp falls in love with a beautiful blind girl. Her family is in financial trouble. The tramp's on and off friendship with a wealthy man allows him to be the girl's benefactor and suitor. Directed by Charlie Chaplin, starring Charlie Chaplin as, this character name is a tramp,
Yeah.
and Virginia Cherrill as a blind girl.
Yeah, they didn't go for a lot of character depth in the early silent movies because they didn't really have need to.
Yeah, this is number 11 on AFI's best films of all time. This is one where I'm like, seen it. City Lights, what's that one again? Oh, the Charlie Chaplin one. Okay.
I know, but
This
it's so
is
good.
the AFI's number 1 romantic comedy of all time
It's
as
very
well.
cute.
Orson Welles' favorite movie, one of Stanley Kubrick's favorite movies as well.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie Chaplin composed the film score. He financed most of the movie on his own. This is a real labor of love for him.
Yeah.
This came 4 years after the jazz singer introduced talkies,
Mm-hmm.
and he still made this silent movie.
Yeah, a lot of the silent actors, they just didn't want to make that leap to talkie because it's a whole different ballgame.
Also, did you know this? He got 2 honorary Academy Awards eventually.
Yeah.
But he was shunned for the
Well,
most part.
Yeah, it was kind of like they weren't the new hotness when the Academy Awards started giving out stuff. Like Wings is the only silent movie that won an award. I believe.
Oh, is it? Yeah, you're right.
Best Picture. But here's the
Okay,
thing.
but it's an hour and a half, and I have seen Birth of a Nation. I watched that when I was in college in film class.
Yeah.
And I hated it so much. It was 3 hours silent movie, and it turned me off of most silent
I've
movies.
seen silent movies that were atrociously long and boring, and I've seen ones that are really entertaining. And
Why
fun.
is this one entertaining and worth
It's a
watching?
it is a comedy. Like if you like kind of the Looney Tunes style humor and just like interaction. And I use Looney Tunes just because it's very kid friendly.
Physical as well.
There's
Yes.
lots of physical comedy because that's really all they have, and just the expressions, and they were able to tell a story. Once again, I should say this for the silent show, but the way they're able to tell a story without any words and very little like even title cards, you start to feel for these characters, and you're like, wow, this is an amazing film experience, and I'm not actually hearing anything. It's a cool feeling.
So it's not a background show that I can't be working on my computer now.
No, actually, silent movies are the worst to watch as background shows.
Because you have to just stare.
Once again, though, I highly recommend watching this with your kids. And I want more people to watch silent movies with their kids, especially young kids, because first of all, I want them to love them. But second of all, they're
Foundation.
very accessible. Very accessible for kids. And fun to watch together as a family. So silent movies are fun. City Lights is definitely a good one to start out with.
Is this the number 1 recommendation for the silent genre?
For Charlie Chaplin, yeah, but we'll talk about silent movies when we get to the silent movie.
Deal.
Movie. Because
Okay.
there's so many good ones out there.
I also haven't seen any of these, obviously.
Yeah. Well,
I haven't seen anything on Kent's list.
I'm going back to TV. 1972, 1983, the highest most watched non-Super Bowl broadcast in the world. I have not seen a single episode of MASH.
So we've talked about this show a great deal, mostly because the theme is so depressing.
It
really is.
And once again, synopsis, the staff of an army hospital in the Korean War find that laughter is the best way to deal with their situation. This ran, like I said, 72 to 83, 11 seasons, 256 episodes.
Don't do it.
I have to.
You don't.
And
I'm giving you a pass on this one.
No, Ken, I'm telling you.
As the judger of Zack, I'm going to give you a pass on this one.
But I want to see MASH.
This show won't be painless for you.
But I can't, like, I went through the entire, I've seen episodes of Cheers before, but I went through and watched the entire series of Cheers and ended up loving it. And I was like, hey, MASH is the other really big
Cheers,
one.
you know, is funny.
Cheers is better.
But MASH has humor too, and I enjoy it. But here's the problem, is that I was like, okay, once again, completionist, I want to see the movie that spawned this series. So I watched the movie MASH.
No.
I hated the movie MASH.
Right.
Hated it. And I actually, on my review, I put out there, I hope that the TV series is nothing like the movie, otherwise I'm going to hate it too. And I got so many comments from people. Rachel Crump was one of them, and she was just like, and everyone was just like, no, it's not the same. It's totally different. Give the TV show a chance. And I'm like, I will. But I just haven't yet.
Is this inspired by your recent like dad style war movie watching?
This is
trends.
Once again, it's the same story as Next Generation, where it was always the show that was on before the show I actually wanted to watch, and so I'd always get the ending like freeze frame and then the "Suicide is Painless" theme song, and then I could call it that instead of the MASH theme song, but that's
We
what
can't
it is.
remove it now.
No.
Is it a half hour or an hour long show?
I could not find it said 25 minutes in the initial thing, but then I was
Perfect.
looking at episodes and they were like 50 minutes.
Ooh.
The finale is 2.5 hours. And so I'm thinking these are going to be long episodes, but I'm willing to give it a shot because I want this to be in my
I'm going to
repertoire.
throw down a gauntlet right now. Zach, if he watches MASH before you watch the Godfather movies, I'll be real mad.
And before you watch Frankenstein, Kent, and The Invisible Man.
We'll see.
Frankenstein, The Invisible Man.
No, this
and Creature from
Halloween,
the
these
Black
are
Lagoon.
happening for me, but
Okay.
I have to wait till Halloween.
The chicken episode. Oh.
I know. Oh, I know about the chicken.
You know
episode.
about that episode.
I don't know about
Everybody.
chicken
I
episode.
know
You
so
what?
much.
I don't know about it.
Very
You
sad.
don't know about it? Mm-mm. Oh man, that's one of those like when they talk about TV episodes that make you cry. That one
It's
almost
like
always
number-
gets referenced.
Yeah, that and the Futurama.
and
Yeah.
just the
The dog
description.
one.
Yeah.
just the description alone, Kent, got me teary eyed.
Of course
Yeah.
it did.
Yeah.
You pull up Wikipedia and you get a little teary eyed. They're asking for $3. Like, you deserve it.
In the arms of the angel. Joel, you're a fan of Danny Boyle, right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I do enjoy Danny Boyle.
There is a movie that came out that a lot of people talked about and looked really cool and interesting and super great in 2008 that I've never seen. I've never seen Slumdog Millionaire.
So you've never seen Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, which is one of my favorites. You've never seen Slumdog, which is one of Joel's favorites.
Maybe I put those on my list because I figured.
Now
Yep.
you've
Guess
heard
we
me
judge you.
You've heard me reference Slumdog Millionaire on Baconsale more than 10 times probably
I have.
in the past.
In your job interview, in your application, you had said you'd seen that movie, Zach.
That was a requirement.
You can lie on a piece of paper, Kent.
Now, I will admit, Zach, that when Slumdog Millionaire first came out, I kind of didn't really care about it as well because I was like, whatever, snobby Best Picture winner. And then when I realized it was about like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, like a game show, I
Right.
was like, oh, okay, that sounds interesting. And then I watched it, and Zach, once again, I'm going to say it. It's going to sound stupid. This movie changed my life.
Yeah.
It really did.
That's
kind
fair
of
to
just,
say.
Like change and I would say change my life. I'm not like I became a better person because obviously I'm the same stupid person I was when I first saw it. But it really did make me kind of think about things differently and kind of perceive how my life is going differently.
So I could get into the like description and everything, but I want you to explain this movie to me because I again thought it was just what this guy's playing millionaire in India. Like what is it about?
But his life is happening as he's playing this game.
So
Is it looking back like he's got these experiences
Correct. So-
and so
yes.
that's why he can
Zach,
answer?
Let me pitch it to you this way, and because I don't want to give too many spoilers, but it's so much fun to watch. He's on the game show,
Yeah.
and he's there with a purpose, but he doesn't say what it is at first. But then each question he gets, you flash back to a part of his life and kind of see how he knew the answer, and
I
you
have
learn
this-
more about him.
I unfortunately got the spoiler on the purpose, but yes.
Yeah, it's the best I mean is like, but each question
Doesn't matter.
No, it
Yeah.
doesn't, because it is like it's fun to watch even if you know how it ends. Like I've seen it so many times, but it is one where so you learn more and more about him as the show goes along and more about his life, and it's one of those movies that will put you through the emotional ringer.
It's a darker movie than you'd expect.
Yeah, I had one friend who watched it, and they ended up having to turn it off because it got a little too intense at one part. And I said, I know, and that's like the bottom of the bed, like that's the worst part. And then it starts going up after that, and it ends you with such a warm feeling of hope and love.
The night is darkest before the dawn.
That you just, it's a feel-good movie that takes a while to feel good. And so that's why I love it so much.
And it ends with a Bollywood number.
Really? In the credits, yeah.
Joe High.
Jai
Is
Ho.
that what that's from?
I know.
Jai Ho?
It's Joe High for you.
No, it isn't.
Joe High.
No, stop. Dad joke, man.
Joe High.
Stop it. Huh. I didn't know that. That's what it's from. I've heard that before.
Yeah, Jai Ho. It's
a cool song.
But I own the soundtrack. I own the movie. I watch this one fairly regularly because I do just love it so much, Zach, and I highly recommend watching this one.
And watch it on a great TV as well. The visuals are
I have a
awesome.
great TV.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I have a 4K OLED TV. So
Nice. That's a great TV.
Not a problem.
You're going to see some very gross things in high definition.
Cool.
Baconsale.
Yeah.
Perfect Black. Okay. Again, it's a movie that I have wanted to see, especially once I've learned more about it. But it's always escaped me, and I've
do
never
have it
sat
on DVD if you ever
I've never
want to
sat down and went, I want to
I have it on
watch
Blu-ray if you want it.
Yeah, borrow from him. It's on Blu-ray.
I'm gonna rent it on 4K. So
Oh,
wow. So I just got one up by Kent,
and then taken right away. I tried.
all right.
Joel, I'm sorry about trying to one-up you. I mean, we
That's
should be
okay.
unified
It's okay.
here.
What about yours, Kent?
My final pick.
Your final list of shame pick.
So I've gone into film history. I've gone with two mysteries here, and I've gone definitely with a horror classic that everyone should watch.
Yeah, you've got a good variety.
And a silent movie. This one, I've lied about on the show.
Oh, well. Oh, you haven't seen Inception.
I haven't seen
knew it.
Inception.
I knew it.
I want to be the last person to see Inception.
You
You
also
realize
like
I can pull that quote now.
Oh, no. Why do I do this? Joel's a cannibal.
you like me also haven't seen
And
Interstellar.
I want to pull it not into modern times, but into the 80s. This is my first. I had Chinatown with the 70s, and now with the 80s. This movie catapulted action movies, I believe.
Haven't seen Die Hard?
It's First Blood.
Oh, Rambo First Blood.
I've never seen First Blood.
Yeah.
From 1982. It's an hour and 33 minutes.
I've never seen any of the sequels, but I've seen that one.
Really? Not even on TV because
Bits and pieces on TV
I've
and
seen
UHF.
Rambo 3 on TV. I saw Rambo
Right.
in the movies or in the theater, and then I saw Rambo Last Blood last year. But so I've seen the three last sequels.
When did you lie? When did we talk about Rambo Last Blood?
We did an action hero movie bracket.
Oh.
And I talked about the skills of Rambo. And granted, it wasn't a lie.
That explains why
because-
your argument was so flawed.
But I talked about how he could do everything because I know enough kind of about it. Basically, I always thought he was in Vietnam, but he was in the Washington woods. And he was fighting a couple cops and people chasing him down. And what a weird... Oh, so here's the story.
Yeah.
A veteran Green Beret is forced by a cruel sheriff and his deputies to flee into the mountains and wage an escalating one-man war against his pursuers, which sounds like the weirdest first movie in the series.
It is.
There are flashbacks to Vietnam in this movie. Sylvester Stallone, by the way.
Yeah.
But it seems like this should be like his coming home, but more so it does flashbacks as he's home.
Can I give you an equation here?
Yeah.
Like, you know how the first Rocky movie is a drama and the rest of the Rockies are kind of action sports movies?
Yeah.
Same with this. The first Rambo movie is a straightforward drama, and then it
It's like
becomes
PTSD.
Yes,
Like it goes into that?
absolutely.
Okay.
It is a serious drama about this guy trying to deal with after war effects and these cops who just basically want to take him down, and he has to fight against them. But it's not like an action movie.
Does it in the end become like a survival thriller though? Because that's what I kind of pictured it.
a
As he's
little.
taking down these guys, they're pretty.
I wouldn't call it a survival
lot of
thriller.
carnage, I should say.
I'd call it a straight up drama. Like
Really?
it's very well done.
Like very well done, but did it start the action movie like strong man 80s era?
Yeah, I think the sequel is more so.
Okay.
Because if you notice, like,
the one man army sort of
yeah,
thing.
and that's the thing is, as it got on, it got more and more ridiculous as to what he was doing and how unstoppable he was. This one, it's just he's a war veteran who's very good at what he does, and these cops are not prepared. That's basically the story. It's not like he's a one man killing machine. Like I can stop anything. It's like these guys weren't expecting what they were walking into.
Ooh.
So it's good.
Yeah.
I think you should see it.
This is probably the one I'll watch first. It's an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And once again, like I think this went through like 26 drafts of the script. Sylvester Stallone, who is a scriptwriter, everyone should know this at this point. He wrote the final script, and this movie was over 3 hours, and he cut it down to an hour and a half because he said it was just horrible at 3 hours. And so he made it a tighter movie, even though it's directed by Ted Kotcheff, who did Weekend at Bernie's and the original Fun with Dick and Jane. So Weekend at Bernie's, classic.
Yeah.
But yeah, this will be probably the first one I watch because it feels like there's a Saturday afternoon that's just waiting for me to sit down and watch this movie.
Okay.
But yeah, I feel bad because I've seen the sequels.
Yeah.
Joel, what's your last pick?
So my last pick, I'd like to make a statement before going into this, that there's kind of this genre of horror movie that I don't delve into. Everyone has their lines drawn where they kind of just don't want to. I don't like this kind of like. I'm okay with this. I don't like this.
Canadian horror films, right?
I hate Canadian horror movies. Yes, but I am a horror fan. I love the horror genre.
We dedicate a whole month to this. Like you don't need to state that case.
But I've chosen not to watch certain movies, such as The Omen, Rosemary's Baby, and The Exorcist. Those 3 movies cross my line of where I want to go.
So they're not on your shame list.
They're not on my shame list.
Chosen not to.
Yeah, because I'm like, you know what? I'm not cool with that. Like
that's the Satan thing, right?
Satan.
It just like I said, everyone has their lines drawn in different places, and I've tried to watch The Exorcist a couple times, and it's not for me. And I've read the synopsis.
Like,
I've
what
seen
did you
clips.
see that made you go, no thanks?
It was more of a feeling.
Yeah, that's what the movie does because it's actually not super scary.
No,
it sticks with you.
And that's why I was kind of like, I got to the point where I'm like, I don't want to watch this anymore. I'm good.
But doesn't that make it effective, though?
Well, there's fun scary and there's not fun scary.
Uncomfortable.
This is for me, and that's the thing. I think other people.
You don't want
fine.
Lucifer just hanging out with you?
I'd rather not.
Okay.
I don't like that cat. I'm not going to put those on. I want to mention them because they're definitely like huge horror staples that I'm just avoiding. I know there are people out there right now be like, you love horror and you haven't seen the scariest movies of all time, and I'm like, look, everyone has their lines.
How much do you know of the story?
All of it.
All of it, right?
I've read the synopses of all these movies on Wikipedia or other places. I've seen clips. I know how it ends. I can make references to it. I get references to it when I see it in other movies. But I put it out there because I'm like, I'm not. This isn't my list of shame because I'm like, I've chosen not to watch these.
Wait, that's not your final pick?
No.
We've been spending so much time about it.
That's why I keep trying to move on. You keep trying to pitch it to me.
No, keep talking about that. Go on.
It's another horror icon that I have not seen, Kent. And this is one that is definitely across the line of good taste, but not across my line of like evil. If that's I don't know how I'm going to put it other than that. I have not seen the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Whoa.
So once again, I've seen parts and they were horrifying.
Which no,
I've seen certain parts like the scariest horror movie parts. They show that part with the sliding
remake
door
or
and all
original.
That. Original.
You've never seen either.
I haven't seen either.
Remakes are actually it's pretty good.
Is it?
Yeah.
So yeah, I haven't seen it. If you don't know the synopsis, 2 siblings and 3 other friends en route to visit their grandfather's grave in Texas end up falling victim to a family of cannibalistic psychopaths that must survive the terrors of Leatherface and his family. Directed by Toby Hooper, who did Cats. Wait, no, that's Tom Hooper. This is Toby Hooper, who did Poltergeist. But Cats is equally as scary. This one came out in 1974. It was a very cheap movie, like $140,000, made $30 million. It's a big horror icon movie.
You say shame because you will eventually watch this.
This is one that I'm like, look, if I find a good edit, I'll watch it. But the problem is I want one that, I don't know.
That keeps the creep factor.
Keeps the creep factor, but it removes some of the stuff I don't like.
This is an absolute must-see in the slasher genre.
I know, and I haven't seen it.
And even just to say, is it that good? Should it be one of the scariest
I'm not
movies of all
expecting
time?
Godfather quality.
It is thought of as the Godfather of slashers.
But, well, what about Halloween?
Yeah, Halloween would be my pick, but this is like the original.
Well, and this also kind of launched a horror genre I'm not fond of, splatter horror, but that's not really my genre. But this is one that I'm like, yeah, you know what? If I find a good edit of this, I definitely want to see it. But my wife won't want to watch it with me, but I want to watch it. But that's the thing. It's weird. Like I said, everyone draws their line in different places. It's a weird line for me to draw where Texas Chainsaw Massacre is okay, but Rosemary's Baby is not.
Well, as we said, that there is a line there.
But it's just that's the feeling of it. And it's going to be gross. It's going to be gritty. But I'm like, yeah, one day I'll watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
It's actually less gross than you imagine.
Well, especially because, I don't know. I feel like it seems like
there's a lot of stuff they don't show.
The precursors to, yeah, exactly. That's what I've heard. And I've heard I know the precursors to a lot of horror movies, is particularly the slasher genre, are much less gory than their counterpart. Their later.
And honestly, it's
stuff.
his family that creeps you out, and a lot of that removes the gore.
And a lot of this, and like I've seen most of it already, and I know the story. I know how it ends.
Yeah.
But to see it all put together, I'm like, yeah, one day. I'd
narrated
like
by John Larroquette.
Is it?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I learned something new today. So yeah, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's
okay. We spent so much time on The Exorcist. I'm so sorry, but I'm happy with all those.
So you
I just
got,
want October to happen already.
you got like a bonus one. Well, it's
Well, it was
not
more
on your
because
shame list.
well, I my purpose of that was just because I had The Exorcist initially because I was like, it's a huge staple, and I went, but I'm not ashamed. I don't want to see it.
Well,
So-
that kind of goes to mine too. Well, like not mine on my list, but I've talked about it on the show before. But I've never seen Interstellar, but I've chosen not to because I really don't like Matthew McConaughey, and I know the movie's better than him. But I know I'll watch it. I promise.
See Kent's murder eyes right now.
I don't-
Reconnaissance
I get it, but
Wait,
whatever.
so wait. What turned you off to Matthew McConaughey?
His face,
was all
his voice.
was all the movies with Kate Hudson.
Was
Yeah.
it
Sarah
the
Jessica
rom-coms
Parker.
turned you off?
It was the one rom com that's way worse than. 10 Things
Oh,
I Hate
okay. We don't
About
need to
You.
go there. We've been there.
No, I like that one.
But I didn't like him. So I've never seen Interstellar. I need to get to it, but it's not like
I'll hassle you behind the show.
Yeah, it's not like a super shameless one because I've made my choice as to why. But my last one is an all-timer. It's one of the highest ranked movies of all time. Every list that exists of the greatest movies will have this one on it. And you know,
Fool's Gold with Matthew McConaughey.
Absolutely. I've had and obviously maybe The Godfather, especially The Godfather Part 2 is on that list. But I have never seen from 1994 The Shawshank Redemption.
Did you not turn on a TV in the 90s?
You mentioned TBS. Did you
That's
not watch
all that
TNT?
plays on TBS.
Nope. I have never seen this movie.
Wow.
This had
No.
been edited.
This
Nope.
had to be on purpose. Was it just on TV and you're like, I can't start in the middle?
I hadn't even heard about it until years after it came out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Granted, you are young.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
so-
it came out when I was 4.
Okay, there's this actor's name is Morgan Freeman.
Well, apparently Morgan Freeman
I think
is
he
in
makes
this.
a great
Tim
movie.
Robbins is in this. There's a thing where he looks up at the sky. I don't know. It's a prison movie. I don't know. I literally don't even know what this movie's about.
This is another. Okay, I don't know why you keep picking Life Changers, but this is another one where you watch it at the end and you're like, man, life is so great. If you don't,
I mean, not well.
no,
in the
it's not
prison.
granted in the prison. I'm just
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about my life. Like I watched that movie and I'm like, I'm feeling so blessed right now.
Yeah.
But
So, do you want to watch this one? Because it seems like
I think
you
that's
don't.
the point of
care
the show. The
seems
point of
like
the
he doesn't
show.
care at all, though.
Just because it's like I gotta know. The other ones like Eternal Sunshine. I'm like, I know I would like that movie or at least appreciate it. I don't want to see it.
Okay.
This one is like, I just gotta know what's going on.
Did
Everybody
you like
talks
Prison
about
Break season 1?
it. What
Did
is
you
that?
see Prison Break?
It's better than Prison Break season 1.
I don't know what that is.
Save for the TV shows we haven't seen. Wow. Wait.
No, this is one also where it puts you through the ringer. Like
Yeah.
there's some horrible things that happen, but then it's the whole point of the movie is hope, just holding on to hope, no matter how dark things get, and it can help pull you through some very difficult times.
You don't see movies like this very often.
Which is weird because we've talked about this movie on the show before, where
Yeah.
it was like it was a box office flop,
Totally.
And then when TBS at TNT or TBS
TNT.
when they bought it and they just started airing it because it was cheap, and people started watching it on TV over and over again, and it became like this
Acclaimed.
huge classic.
Yes.
So that's a darn good movie.
Yeah.
Darn good movie. You got some great stuff to look forward to.
So, but what again?
I look
like,
at mine and I'm like, yeah, these are going to be good, but I don't know if any of these are going to be like, wow, you got wow on your list, Zach.
so much like I'm not fully even sure what is it a Prison Break movie? Is it?
It's
what is
so
it about?
Basically, this guy is accused of killing his wife, and he gets put in prison.
Okay.
And he's an accountant, and he doesn't
I didn't kill my wife. I don't care. That thing.
But Fugitive is so good. But it's more. He doesn't fit in with the other prisoners around there,
And life is horrible.
It's
in
a
there.
very
I mean, it's a
strict
prison.
Yeah, but,
sure.
but it's
Yeah.
like 19. It's Depression era prison.
Yeah.
And so like it's just like things are not going
Guards
well for
are
him.
bad.
Yeah. And so but watching it and just seeing how I love movies when good things happen to good people, and he's a good person, and then when stuff kind of starts going his way before they pull out the rug repeatedly.
It's a lot of rug pulling.
There's a lot of rug pulling. Oh, and
No, I know. I got you.
I just thought of a really sad
I got you.
part.
It's fine.
Good, I won't say it.
Get some tissues.
But
And
he was
I'm
here.
lost over here.
Morgan
Let
Freeman.
Joel cry.
Morgan
If you
Freeman.
like March of the Penguins, you're probably going to like Shawshank.
Wow. Okay.
That's a great one to end on because that movie should be seen by everyone. It probably has been.
It is the
Except
number
for
one
you.
ranked movie on IMDb.com. Of the movies that I brought up on my list, I have not seen 3 of the top 5 IMDb
Holy
ranked
cow.
movies, with being Shawshank Redemption and both Godfather movies. So,
Wow.
No, I think it's something to look forward to. I kind of envy the fact that you haven't seen them because being able to experience them the first time is so much fun. All those movies you mentioned.
You gave yourself the most work here with the TV series.
I did. Did either one of you do TV series?
no.
I want to watch a TV series. I knew I'd have to watch everything on this list.
There's not a timestamp on this. I'm just like, one day I want to watch this.
I'll tell you why, because there are some shows like Cheers, where I've seen scattered episodes, but I've never seen the whole series, which I'm going to do.
Watching it start to finish is so much fun because you watch the jokes build and the characters build, and that's part of the fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and that's for me. TV, I just don't watch. So I've never seen The Walking Dead. I've never seen Game of Thrones, but I've watched Mad Men twice. Like, what's wrong with me? So
everyone has their lines,
right? But yeah, I mean, for me, again, a little bit younger. I didn't watch a lot of rated R movies, and so I know I've got a bunch of good movies ahead of me.
Yes,
that's
you
nice.
do.
Yeah. And then I haven't seen anything on Kent's list.
Neither have I.
Yeah. So Kent, run through your list that you mentioned.
My list is Sunset Boulevard, Frankenstein, Chinatown, City Lights, and First Blood.
Wow. And mine was Scarface, Star Trek The Next Generation, Enter the Dragon, MASH, and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
All right, Zach?
Mine is the entire Bourne series, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, The Godfather, we'll say part 1 and 2, Slumdog Millionaire, and The Shawshank Redemption.
Awesome.
Wow.
So,
what we want to do is we do want to create a safe space on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter where you can give your movie confessions or TV confessions. Let us know what big, and once again, we got to clarify, these are big movies or big TV shows that you haven't seen, but you want to see. This is not, I haven't seen this and I'm never going to watch it and I'm proud.
Yeah.
This is more like,
it's like they come up in conversation, you're like, I can't speak to that.
Yeah.
And I wish I could.
yeah, I want to see it one day. This is my shame. So
Yeah.
Shame.
there you go.
Shame.
That's a Game of Thrones reference. Zach doesn't get
Zach
it.
doesn't know.
Yeah.
Shame. That's a Great British Baking Show reference in my mind.
Yeah. But let us know on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter your list of shame, and we will happily say, you haven't seen that?
But before we go, we want to give some special thanks to our patrons. In the I Am the Listener category, we have Terry Finlay, Adrian Gray, Chris Drought, Braden Winterton, Jennifer Kielkowski, Sean Sandquist, Kyler Just Wants Joel's Approval, Alicia Bass, Crew Dutler, and Scott Sprague. Then in our Baking Council, we have Nicole D. Hale, Chris Anderson, Ryan Farron, Stephen Ross, Mats Mudrow, Jessica Terry, Brian Madsen, and Reverse Listener.
Love you, patrons.
Thank you so much. We do appreciate it. Even if we didn't say your name, we do appreciate you.
Absolutely.
But if you want to find me, you can find me at 76Joel on Twitter, or you can find me performing with Quick Wits. They perform online right now, free Facebook shows. For more details, go to qwcomedy.com or go to the Quick Wits Facebook page.
If you want to find me on Twitter and Instagram, it's at Kenny3DD. If you want to read my upcoming movie reviews this coming September, it's ShowtimeShowdown.com.
Please.
If you want to roast me on Twitter, it's at Tumbling Mustard. If you want to see my Cracker Barrel vlog, you can go to youtube.com/Zachary Western. That's Zachary
What is
with
a Cracker Barrel vlog, Zach?
I did a video where I went to
go
Cracker
there.
Barrel.
Oh, okay. So it's not like a review of everything on the menu or anything like that.
No, I just do some B-roll of eating my steak. It's delicious. And then, of course, while you're doing that, make sure you're following Baconsale on social media. Like us on Facebook. Also follow us on Twitter and Instagram. While you're doing that, make sure you stop by tpublic.com/baconsale, where you can get yourself, of course, a t-shirt, but you can also get fun things like a mask or some pins.
True.
Or totes.
Totes, you can get totes.
No, I don't.
You said it.
I regret everything.
You bumped and said it. I only spike it.
And then if you like what's going on the show and you want to support, you can go to patreon.com/baconsale, where support of the show starts at just $3 a month. And you can get some fun perks, including Bacon Bits that happen sometimes.
Yep.
Patreon,
Sometimes.
Patreon.com/baconsale. But until next time, guys, shame on you.
If you go to Joel's breakfast party, you become food.
Hashtag Joel's a cannibal. So yummy.
No.
Do it.
Dude, I want to see Waffles win.
Morning drinks with Zach. It makes him sick.
Water.
I'm drinking some water.
Oh, you know.
Water.
You drink some water. Go ahead. We'll drink some water. Drinking water. I'm going to Australian. Water. Water.
Did you just get a babysitter in that song?
Well, you know, I figure, what the heck?
I've never seen Invisible Man.
I told you to watch that one last.
I've seen Hollow Man.
It's a different monster.
I'm so sorry to everyone. My life is a lie. Creepy.
J.J. Abrams was my only Star Trek.
He's a rebel now, people.
So you're saying I shouldn't watch it now?
It honestly might be a bad time.
I've been chipping away at the best Westerns. I love a good cliche.
You're young.
Yeah.
So I'm going to forgive you.
I'm going to forgive you for your horrible judgment.
Oh, if you think about character study and the history of America.
Have you seen Sonic the Hedgehog, though? That's okay.
I haven't seen
You're
it.
young.
You can lie on a piece of paper, Kent.
It's Joe High for you.
No, it isn't.
Joe High.
No, stop. Dad joke, man.
I have a 4K OLED TV, so not a problem.
You're going to see some very gross things in high definition.
I haven't seen
knew it.
Inception.
I knew it.
Joel's a cannibal. You don't want
Fine.
Lucifer just hanging out with you?
I'd rather not.
Okay.
I don't like that cat. I feel most 70s movies kind of make me feel uneasy. What turned you off to Matthew McConaughey?
His face.
I'm feeling so blessed right now. Wow. You got wow on your list, Zach.
I've watched Mad Men twice. Like, what's wrong with me?
Yeah, man burp.
Fashion
Chop.
Fashion chops.
Fashion chops.
Fashion chops.
Wally.
Wally? Pixar movies?
The
now?
movie, yeah. That's what I talk about all the time.
That's how I get it in my accent. So, Wally.
Wally.
Ratatouille.
Every accent has a trigger
Cars.
word.
Onward.
Night.
Finding Nemo.
What would be like?
A Bug's Life.
Why are we doing
Bugs
Australian
Life.
accents? It has nothing to do with the show.
Brive.
The Good Dinosaur.
That's barely a Pixar.